Hey YouTube, this is Southern Prepper 1. I'm going to talk about pace count. It's very important. This is something that preppers need to do. It doesn't cost you really a penny. You only need a few things. You need some way to measure some distances. We're trying to set up a 100-meter course. And I have one set up here. 100 meters down is an orange cone. What you're trying to do is determine how many paces it will take you to cover 100 meters. And you need to set up this course on a road. You need to set it up going through grass, especially tall grass. You can set it up in the woods. And that way you can record your pace count. And your pace count is a natural, roughly 30-inch step. So basically when you set it up, you're going to start at your beginning point, and you will only count when either your left or right foot hits the ground. For this, we're going to go left. I've been trained the left. We train it in the military, left foot. So every time your left foot hits the ground until you get to the end, you count it. So you'll start off 1, 2, 3, and so forth. And about 60, 65, it depends who you are. When I get to the end, I'll have a pace count. You're going to do this numerous times. Minimum, do it 3 times, and then average it out and see what your average pace count every time your left foot hits the ground until I get down 100 meters. You need to do this with the shoes you're going to wear. Maybe you have dress shoes on, you have to get home. And you might need to do some land navving through the woods. Do it with your dress shoes on. Do it with your heavy combat boots on. All this needs to be written down, and then you can laminate it. If you don't have lamination tape, packing tape works good. You can cover something with packing tape on both sides, and it's waterproof. So you need to set this up on a road, on grass, through the woods. Also, if you got a lot of hills like we do, you need to do your pace count going uphill and going down. You need to write it down. It needs to be part of your gear. So put one in your get-home bag, maybe your hiking bag, your rucksack, wherever. Put one in the glove box, wherever you think you might need this. So you're going to need it for walking with just regular street clothes on. You're going to need it walking your pace count with a light load. Maybe you just got a little fanny pack. You're going to need it for, you have a full bug-out bag ruck on or camping. You need that. Also, you need to try the same measurement and write it down under jogging. Jogging. How many times does my left foot hit the ground from this point to this point? Because this is important, because that distance is going to be different. If I run down there, my left foot's going to hit the ground a lot less. So this is important. Now you might say, well, I need to travel 500 meters through the woods here. How am I going to keep track of counting? What you're going to do is you're going to cheat. You can use a ranger beads, and so every time you're left, you get 100 meters, you can pull one of these up, you can pull one down, whatever you want. That way, if you stop to get a drink and you're like, oh, what's my count? You can tell. You might not have this. Simple. Pick up some pebbles on the ground. Put them in one pocket. When you hit that mark, each pebble in your other pocket means you've gone 100 meters. So it's really easy to keep track. Do this. Don't say, oh, I'm smart enough to remember, because you're not smart enough. You're going to forget. You're going to stop. Something's going to get your attention. You're going to say, oh, what number was I on? This way, at least if you totally forget, you can go back in your pocket and count how many you have and say, well, I know at least I'm 400 meters away. You might say, why do I need this? Well, if you know you have to travel a certain amount of distance, and then you have to turn right or turn left or change your azimuth, this is important, so you know, hey, I'm traveled that distance, I need to turn and go right or left or follow this azimuth. Also, you might be in a situation where you're hunting and you're like, that's a good place to set up, and all this open terrain. You can go there early and walk from where your hunting stand is and walk out to every point. It might be an old tree, it might be an opening in the woods where you might see a deer, and that way you'll know those distances. Will it be accurate? It's going to be very accurate if you do your pace count right, because you might not have a rangefinder when you're hunting. Also, in a defensive situation, if you're protecting a piece of property, or like in the military, we set up range cards. If I have no way to range that target or range the area out there, I can simply, if it's safe enough, I can do my pace count to all these points, and I know exactly the distance from my position to that set point. So pace count's very important for the prepper, very important if you do a lot of hiking. That way you know how far you travel into the woods. Hopefully you can do this. It costs really nothing. In the description, I'm going to put all these little details like walking with a light ruck, walking in mud. You need to know these, and it needs to be written down, and figure out your pace count. Thanks for watching.